Everybody, I hope you're keeping well, keeping safe, and watching plenty of good movies. Big thank you to Peter from Nazarene Prod last week for joining us on Talking Movies. It was a great discussion about 1980s cinema. This week, 29th May, 8 PM GMT, we will be talking about the 90s, and we are going to be joined by Dimitri. And I'm sure it'll be good. Everything's in the bottom. Join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now to the review.
thatmovieguyUK.
Lockdown has provided a good time to complete filmographies of directors, and one of my top directors I wanted to complete filmography was David Cronenberg. And during this time, I actually was devouring what was being on sale online, blah, 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 and I finally found out that Crash was coming out on Blu-ray and 4K in Germany, and Turbine have released this wonderful media book. And it is one of those restorations that I really want to talk about. After getting into a serious car accident, a TV director discovers an underground subculture of scared omnisexual car crash victims who use car accidents and the raw sexual energy they produce to try and rejuvenate his sex life with his wife. Crash is a lustful piece of erotica that holds no prejudice. Cronenberg's narrative doesn't really give you much information on why this exists or how these characters came into this subculture. But what Cronenberg asks is, how far would you go to release your pleasure endorphins? And how far would you go to be happy? And that's the unique point of this one, because it's such a dark and twisted taboo film where we see a lot of death, we see a lot of scars, we see the mindsets of people that seem to be happy, but they're so addicted to what they are doing, they don't see a way out of it. And that's why I see Crash to be one of these true pieces of art for what it is. It challenges you to actually understand why these characters do what they do. And I truly love it. What Cronenberg actually creates from his framing is a sense of warmth, a sense of wanting, a sense of belonging. It's very Bresson in a way, purely for the reason that there's a lot of close-up shots on the hands, on legs, on obviously the main focal parts where scarring is prominent, very lustful kissing. He always goes close, and you sense this moment of euphoria that these characters are going through. And Cronenberg really creates a big character piece more than anything else, purely by framing alone. The characters don't have to say anything, it's just the heat of the moment and how Cronenberg really just moves from shot to shot. And it's very seamless. What even elevates it even more is Howard Shore's score, who's a long-time collaborator for Cronenberg. There's this sense of unification between Cronenberg and Shore's compositions, purely for the reason that it feels like a melodrama type music, but also it becomes its own character. It actually really evokes the sense of feelings that the characters are going through, and throughout the whole process of Crash, it really helps you understand this tone of feeling, really. And that's something that you don't always get. I feel like if this wasn't scored, it may be a bit too cold for its own good, but what this blend of Cronenberg and Shore really brings the best out of it. And even the night shots, considering that this is made in the mid-90s, night shoots are not the best at times, but I think this murky grain that Cronenberg gives with the lighting that he utilizes, which is very limited, gives a bigger perspective of how the seedy underbelly works. And it works quite well when they take photos of crash accidents and how, you can even see blood from these characters, which in some angles you shouldn't be able to, but it's very prominent, and I think it's very great filmmaking. As I've mentioned, the cast is so crucial to this character study within Crash. James Spader, phenomenal. I think he loses all his inhibitions and really submerges himself into this performance. And him and Elias Koteas, I think this backwards and forwards of a master apprentice kind of angle really works really well, and they really mesh. With Koteas, obviously, I think what's so good about this is line delivery. The line delivery is really calm, very precise. It shows a leader really within the subculture, and the way that he fulfills his inner desires really opens up a lot more. But with Spader, you see this small trudging into the subculture, and Koteas really opens up the world for him, and I really enjoy this backwards and forwards. When it comes to Holly Hunter, I really enjoy Holly Hunter's performance when she's on screen. I think she really is this aphrodisiac, I think, that brings Spader into it slowly. And in a way, I don't really see her to be a femme fatale or anything like this, but she is a really interesting key holder that really gives him the taste. She's like the drug dealer. The first hit is free, and the rest you've got to pay for it. And most of the time, it's in blood and scars and semen. So I really enjoy Holly Hunter in this film quite a bit. David Cronenberg's Crash is not for everybody. I will openly admit that anytime. But for me, it's my joint favourite Cronenberg, along with Dead Ringers, with History of Violence, and Videodrome being a joint third. He's difficult to rank, but Crash is really one of these films that's really going to stick with me for the rest of my life. It's one of these films that really makes me think quite a lot, and it's just very atmospheric. It's wonderful to watch it at night time, really late, because that's what I did last night. I watched it quite late last night. I had my little mood lights on, and it was great. It's fantastic that it's finally had a good restoration, and deservedly so. I'm hearing that it may be coming to the United Kingdom with another company at some point, but we shall see. So, Crash, what do you think? Do you like it? Are you intrigued to watch it? What are your favourite David Cronenberg films? Give me your top 3 Cronenbergs. I'm always intrigued to know what you think, and I always look forward to hearing back from you. Hello, new subscribers. Hello, old subscribers. Keep sharing the love. Subscribe, share, dislike, do whatever you want. It's all good. Obviously, we'll see you at Talking Movies this Friday, 8 p.m. GMT, 90s. It's going to be great. I'm actually going to have new cinema reviews for you next month. I assure you, some of them are going to be great, so I will share them as time goes by. And as we normally say on this channel, de danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shuns, and obviously, never change.